alternating clean and press, swing, EMOM, 20 minutes. Take the shirt off. 6 reps clean and press, 12 swings. So it'll be 120 swings and 60 clean and press. Warm up was 60 halos for the shoulders. No snatches today because tomorrow's heavy deadlifts. Don't want to be too exhausted. Well, heavy deadlifts and 5 sets of 12 squats. So now we got 12 swings. These are double 18s, so it's 80 pounds. So I've switched to the clean and press because that is how I'm training my shoulders directly at my overhead pressing, because it's lighter and more comfortable. And I want to focus on the bench press because I'm bad at that. But also, I'm really trying to preserve the low back and heavy overhead pressing with a barbell can put a strain on the low back, and I'm really focused on the deadlift. I won't be breaking the 505 record anytime soon, but still a cool move. It's probably my favorite lift. Barbell lift. Yesterday was bench day. Started deadlift. I don't know how to incorporate leg drive. This is an awkward lift. The hell was that? Some large bug. Thinking I'd have to move away from kettlebell training for this, because as this program ramps up, the volume's quite hard to deal with. Like Monday kind of wrecked me. I had 5 sets of 12 on deadlift, so I did 225 because it said RPE 8, so I figured 225. Not that heavy, but still high volume deadlifts like that is hard. That was after squatting. So tomorrow's session will be 5 sets of 12 with squats with 200 pounds. Not that you're supposed to up the weight on the assistance exercises, but I'm just trying to get the squat strength back. Most of my issue is the technique. So week 1, you would do 3 sets of 12 of your primary assistance move. And week 2 was 4, week 3 is 5. So I've just been using the weight that I previously used for the set to 6. So I'm scaling the weight up that way. And I switched my squat technique to high bar. So it's been a little tricky, although tomorrow with 5 sets of 12 before the deadlift, I'll probably do a little more. Based on my performance last week with the deadlift in the 14 reps with 280, I will be doing 305 for 4 sets of 6, the last one being an AMRAP. So I want 12 is the goal. So I'll do 30 reps with 305 is the plan. And then 60 reps of squats with 200. And then I have barbell row, which I got up to 185. So that's gonna scale a little higher this week. The program is, like I said, Bull Mastiff. He says that he doesn't intend for people to run it as written. So that's why I feel confident kind of making the little tweaks here with intensity. I do imagine it though, in week, or the second block that starts next week, the intensity goes up. So the weight scaling might stop. So yeah, for like phase 2, you switch to 5 reps with 70%, 72%, something like that. So what I'll probably do is cap the weight on those assistance lift at 3 sets week 1, 4 sets, then 5 sets, and then in 3 weeks I'll up the weight on those. So more skill work. But right now, the percentages are low, and I'm just trying to get my gym strength back. I think that's the right way to go. And bench press is still my worst lift. It's not even close. Like yesterday I did 155 for sets of 6, and on my AMRAP, I only got 8. And I was like, but I did try for the assistance lift. I tried going outside the rings, and like I was more stable, and I felt like it was a better press. My arms might just be so long relative that I just need to go a little wider. I might just need to go a little wider on it. Because like when I go right inside the rings, it feels awkward and it kind of hurts. When I go outside the ring is when it's stable and I'm able to like press without any grindy feeling in the delts. So I might just have to go wider, which is what I'm going to try on Friday, because like I said, I repeat instead of doing a heavy overhead day. Like I said, I know how to get a big overhead press. I would use a push press because you can overload it better. And then from there, you do pin press to work on the sticky points. And you just progressively lower the pins, and then you're pressing with your push press. Bench press is just one of those lifts. Doesn't really make much sense to me. I seriously doubt I'll be one of those guys who's repping 3 or 4 plates. Like I think I'd be getting a 900-pound deadlift before I'm benching 4 plates, which I think is 405. Like realistically, I'm probably getting a respectable deadlift before I get a respectable bench press. And the squat will be somewhere in the middle. But yeah, this is a nice complex. I would say this is something that more intermediate people could do and benefit from with kettlebells. It's not too hard. This is kind of like a recovery conditioning thing for me. so 60 clean and press, 120, well, 122 swings. I did 13 reps twice, but who cares? So yeah, that's decent work. Like I said, I did 60 halos at the start, kind of warm up shoulders, activate the core a little bit. Halos are good, incorporate more of those. If you don't know what a halo is, you just pick the bell up. Go in both directions. I do sets of 10. So 10 go to the left, then 10 go to the right, and it doesn't beat you up, so you can do a lot of them. Or if you want, there's two ways I've seen them done. The way I just showed them, and then like this. Personally, I prefer just going around. I like the rotation. It makes the shoulder girdle feel good. But yeah, so that is the morning kettlebell conditioning, and a bit of an update on the barbell bull mastiff training program, which is going pretty well. The hardest session though was definitely Mondays, like so far. That was 4 sets of 6 on squats, 225. The last set I got 12 reps. So the issue I'm having, I started light on purpose with the squats because I thought my knee was going to get fucked up. But I started doing leg extensions, which is in the program, and that actually helped my knee feel a lot better. And now I'm doing like, the thing at the gym only goes up to 210. So I'm just doing them as explosively as possible. And then some people look at me weird because I'm making the thing smash to the top, but like I don't care, because that's what you gotta do when the weight's too light. Quit trying one leg, but the machine's kind of awkward, so I don't know. I just keep blasting the rep progression, try to make them as explosive as possible. I do it mostly because it seems to help with alleviate the knee pain. I really don't care at all about the supposed size benefits, but this motion with resistance seems to help my knees not ache after doing squats. But anyway, so it was 225 on the squat. The main problem with the squat that I'm having is technique. I switched to high bar to emphasize the quads more and alleviate some stress on the lower back since I'm blasting the deadlift. But then the deadlift, I did 225, the same as I squatted, because like I knew I could. It said RPE 8. That's why I hate RPE. I think RPE is a terrible metric. You have some people who will go super fucking hard. That's what I tend to do. And then you have other people who will go way too easy, which is what most people tend to do with an RPE. But I do feel like with that 225 on deadlift, I kind of nailed it. I feel like that weight was appropriate for 5 sets of 12. 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between. It sucked. And I did have some candy before the session and a body armor during the session, and I still had a headache doing those deadlifts, but I got them done without dropping it. I did all 12 reps consecutively on each set. So, and then I had the barbell rows. I worked up to 185. The first two, 135 and 155, were mostly warm-up sets, and then yeah, and I was hitting 165, 175, 185. The way I do the barbell row on the heavy or the deadlift day to save the low back is I just kind of go down and then I just put it like this and I rip it. I do not stand and then hang over. You can do that, but I feel like you should probably do that on a day or a block where you're not pushing heavy deadlifts and high volume deadlifts twice a week. So I do my barbell rows all the way bent over, like this, brace, explode, and then control it on the way down. That's the main purpose. You maybe get a little pop here, to help get the weight up, hold the weight, and then lower the weight. It's good, controlled. Great for the upper back. And then obviously, you gotta do abs on the program. I mean, you don't have to, you can skip it, but I actually do it. Hanging leg raises, and I'm experimenting with the cable crunch. Everybody shits on the normal crunch. I like it because it really hits the ab muscles. And I know people argue and say it doesn't. But if you don't pull with your arms and you don't leverage your hip flexors and you actually crunch with the plate behind your head, good God, it's tough, it burns. The cable crunch, it's a shit exercise. People like it because you can put a lot of weight on it and they feel like they're doing more, but it's not good. And in my experience, I kind of like it because on the way up, it kind of pulls and it kind of stretches the low back. And I like the way that feels. But I think the best ab exercise is just the hanging leg raise. I feel like that works everything. Doing 20 reps of that can be tough for multiple sets. And then if you want, you can throw a weight on there. I don't think you need to do a weight. But I'm very leery of doing stuff like that, leg raises with weights, because when I was much younger, I popped something in here doing a floor leg raise, not even a hanging leg raise, so the range of motion isn't as deep. And I couldn't walk well for that rest of that day and the next day. Luckily the pain subsided. I don't know what I did, but it sucked. I never went to a doctor about that, but I went to the fair that night and I could barely walk. So I don't load those up, I just do them body weight, slow and controlled for as many sets of 20 as I can get. But that is the session. Oh, I did curls yesterday too. I worked up to 95 pounds. So that was surprising. I know I'm fat as shit, but you know, whatever. Powerlifting, don't care. Yeah, curls surprisingly useful, more so than I gave them credit for. Plus it kind of looks cool. You're doing them, you know, relatively heavy barbell curls. Strictly, people look at you. That's kind of neat. Peace.